Good morning. I'd like to call the regular scheduled meeting to the Board of Selectmen to order. It's not Tuesday, I have the wrong agenda. Okay, it's Monday, February 1st, 2016. It is now 8:34. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to ask Selectman Havertich to lead us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Charles. Okay. Item 2, public forum limited to 3 minutes on any agenda item. Anyone wishing to address the board on any agenda item? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to item 3, approval of the minutes. We have 3 sets of minutes to approve this morning. First set is January 19th, which was a regular meeting. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any additions or corrections? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous, thank
I
you.
abstain.
One abstention, okay, sorry. Item 3.2, January 20th, which is a special budget workshop meeting. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any additions or corrections to those minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor of the approval?
Aye. Abstain again.
Charlie, was that an abstention?
Yeah.
Okay, 4 affirmative and 1 abstention. 3.3, January 21st, special budget meeting workshop. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Any additions or corrections? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
And 1 abstention.
Okay, 4 affirmative and 1 abstention, okay. Okay, that takes care of the minutes. And we'll move on to item 4, Town Engineer Jim Portley, discuss and takes possible action to release the maintenance bond for Cambridge Way and the Cambridge subdivision. Good morning, James.
Good morning. This was a maintenance bond that was posted in 2011 when the town accepted the road. I was up there last week. The road's in great shape. So there's no reason to hold the maintenance bond anymore, so I recommend that the Board of Selectmen vote to release the maintenance bond as the developer has requested.
So moved.
Second.
Jim, so I guess, I know the neighborhood pretty well. Obviously the subdivision is now completed, is that right?
Now, there are several lots still.
Okay, but,
Still in there, but this covers just the maintenance of the road itself and the condition of the catch basins and curbs and everything else.
okay, so should they develop the last couple of lots, that wouldn't affect the road then, is
Not
that
at all.
right?
No.
Okay, all right. All right, so we have a motion on the floor, was made and seconded. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. 4.2, discuss and take possible action on payment for Connecticut Water Company, Connecticut Water Company in lieu of permanent pavement restoration for River Street and Broad Street. James?
Last year, we had planned to reconstruct River Street because the previous winter had really fallen apart. As we started to put those plans together, we contacted all the utilities and told them that we plan to reconstruct the road, and if they have any plans at all to get in there and get it done, so we didn't want to rebuild the road and then have them start cutting the pavement up. This was increased because, the pressure was increased because they approved 66 High Street. Historically, downtown, where we've had major structures, people have had to put in booster pumps for fire protection. Public Works Garage is an example of that because of the limited mains. The water company saw the wisdom of it. They went in and put a new water main down River Street from Route 1 to Water. While they were there, they also replaced the water main on Broad Street from River Street to Fair. So they took on a lot of construction. Part of our discussion with them is that we would let them put in temporary pavement and then they would pay us for the permanent repair rather than have them put the permanent pavement repair in, so that we would get money towards, or defray the cost to the town. So we've gone through that. We have two different prices, one being the price for River Street, which is basically $24 a square yard for permanent repair. A little higher price on Broad. They just proposed the wording on their agreement. Because that wasn't part of the original agreement, and what I've told them is I want a little more money, because what I'm gonna do after when we were building River Street, is we'll mill over the pavement on Broad Street. We don't have enough land to reconstruct it, and the basic pavement isn't bad, but there are a number of utility cuts in there. We will mill over the surface just like we did up on Flat Meadow Road, and then repave it. And with this money, we will have enough to mill and do a lot of the paving. So I think it's a fair deal for the town, and I would recommend that the Board of Selectmen approve the sum of $63,654 as an agreement with I guess they have $63,700. Town will receive in lieu of payment for the pavement restoration for River Street and Broad Street.
I see there's a place for a signature here. Do we have to empower the first selectman to sign for us?
Either he or I. You get the thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll move the resolution as you propose it.
As, with the typos changed.
With the
They
typos, yeah.
flip-flop Broad and River
Yeah,
Street in
yeah.
the second
Yeah,
paragraph.
mine's changed.
Contact them, I haven't heard back.
That's fine.
It's not a major deal.
Jim,
I'll second that. I'll
okay,
second
motion's
Carl's
made and seconded. Discussion, I guess I'll start off. How do we come up with that number?
We measured the actual square yardage of the repair
Yeah.
of the trenches.
That they,
for it,
that they,
that they
Cut.
needed to put back, yeah.
Yeah.
They cut the pavement and they put in temporary pavement. We measured it, they had a calculation, we went out and we measured it, we came up virtually the same numbers, like exactly the same thing, but close enough. And then we just applied the price per square yard based on those measurements.
okay. So, to be clear about it, this is what would cover just for their section that they cut.
Right.
It's not,
Not the whole road.
not the whole road,
No.
because most people would say, gee, that's pretty cheap.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, this is just, it's typical of Joe Mazza put a water service into his house. The water company would come in, they would make the tap, and then it'd be your responsibility, hire your own contractor to excavate and put the service into your house. And that trench repair is typically what we've obligated the contractor and the homeowner to repair, and that's just based on square yardage. This is a little more extensive than that, obviously, but they have prices from their contract, which is BL, they're out of Old Saybrook. This is what they would pay for permanent repair. Pavement's been cut already, it's been backfilled, it's a matter of just removing the temporary pavement and then repaving. Just that place where they've excavated through the pavement.
Okay.
So it's a fair, it's money they would have to pay, so rather than have them, their first reaction was, well, why would you have us pay that, because you're gonna rebuild the road anyway? And I said, well,
Yeah, no way.
it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You gotta contribute.
Right, right,
So I think it's a fair deal.
okay. And just for the public information, we're gonna be repaving those roads this spring and summer anyway.
We intend, we were out there last week, setting it all up. As soon as the asphalt plant's open, we're gonna start putting that into play. We're gonna start rebuilding those roads.
Okay, good. Any further discussion?
I just think it's a
Gary?
creative and logical negotiation. I congratulate you, Portly.
Jim is always creative and logical.
He is creative.
What's that phrase you use?
I won't say that on camera.
I didn't hear that. I'll call the question. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, James. Okay.
You want me to sign it or you sign?
Doesn't matter. You can sign it.
I think we should, if we didn't revise the thing, we should authorize the town engineer to sign the agreement.
I agree.
You started to say that, then I interrupted you by changing the wording on the Broad Street and River Street thing.
Okay. Want to make a motion official?
I'll make it we'll add to the motion to authorize the
Town
town
engineer.
engineer.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, now it's official.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item 5, discuss and take possible action on the fiscal 2016-2017 budget and 5-year capital plan. Have Finance Director? Good timing. Morning.
Sheila.
Sometimes the electronics doesn't work, and I had emailed everything this morning,
Oh, I didn't
and
have it.
not to you, but
No.
to my office, and didn't happen.
Okay.
Okay, so I have the summary page. It's not the most beautiful copy, but it works. I think this is the same copy I may have given you on Friday.
I don't know what you have in your hand. That's okay.
It's just it's the general fund budget summary page.
On this one, I'm gonna have to put some glasses on.
I know.
Yeah, okay. I know I worked up my own sheet, so I can tell you if it's the same. Yeah. 2.87.
It's exactly what we talked about on Friday. I believe it's 2.5% increase for town departments.
Right, that's what I have. And
And-
with the debt service, you have what?
The debt service is 35.2% increase, but
What did I have there? I gotta find my debt service, 35.24%. Yeah, okay, those are the same numbers, okay. I worked on this Saturday, so I was waiting for the serviceman to come.
so
Okay.
there are no changes.
Well, I think you wanna go over them for the board, because you and I worked on them.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, was the debt service that was in limbo when we when we last met on Thursday, I believe. Okay,
Do you want me to talk about the debt service?
yeah, yeah.
Well, the debt service, actually, we were able to reduce by $487,000. Yes, $487,000.
Yeah.
It says revaluation next to it, to the left, but that is not, that's debt service.
What is reval? I don't understand.
If you just cross that off, it doesn't
That whole
belong
line?
there. No, just the title.
Oh.
It just.
It should
is-
say refunding.
It just should say, it's debt service principal and debt service interest.
Yeah, I mean,
So
there's a
the
bunch
debt,
of stuff in there, yeah.
the debt service principal is $5,270,000. There hasn't been any change on that at all throughout the whole process.
It's just the interest.
That's going forward.
Going forward,
Yeah,
yes, the
okay.
budget for
Yeah, I got it.
fiscal
Okay.
17, okay. And the interest budget, we were able to reduce by $487,000. And that's due to utilizing some of the premiums that we received on the bands and bonds that we issued that we set aside in a reserve. And also, we are anticipating refunding some existing bonds, so there's savings in there of approximately $250,000. Although we may have a better savings than that, I wanted to be a little conservative there. So we were able to reduce the interest by, as I said, $487,000. So the interest is only 5.7% over last fiscal year, which is not so bad. Overall, the budget stands at 35.2%, or the debt service budget is 35.2% over last year.
Okay, so, just to recap this, and we can go department by department if you like again. The town budget exclusive of debt service, this board has discussed reductions of $421,769 from the submissions that the department heads have presented to the Board of Selectmen, reducing it from a 4.02% down to a 2.05%, 2.5%. So that's a 421,000, almost a 428,000, $422,000 decrease on operations. Okay, does everybody agree and see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Decrease of what they asked for. Originally.
Decrease of what they asked for
Yeah.
originally, okay? And then through Sheila's hard work and taking into consideration what we had in reserve from fiscal 2015 of $200,000 we had in reserve for reducing debt service, and then using some premium money on the sale of bonds from the August 15. And do we use August 14 on here too, or just August 15?
It's August 14.
For August 14, excuse me, premium sale, in which we got some premium dollars, and the anticipated refunding or refinancing, as some people would call it, of the coming refinancing in the next week or two. We can reduce the interest on the debt service of another $487,937 off the debt service, bringing it to a 5.7% increase on the debt service. Okay, on the interest of portion of the debt
Right.
service, excuse me.
Right.
Okay, nothing we can do with principal. Principal is principal.
Right, that's right.
Okay, all right,
The
Gary?
only addition, the capital account was actually pared, the number here was actually pared down from original capital request, was it not?
Did you talk about capital improvements, capital expenditure?
$1,358,000
Yeah. it's-
Correct.
was pared down
Right.
from a higher.
That's part of the 421 reduction.
Right, but this is the second pairing.
That's correct.
No, well,
Yeah,
It wasn't the original sort of
2 million.
capital request close to 2 million?
it was.
Oh, right.
So,
That, I took my cut out of there and
Yes,
then
you're right,
presented it,
you're
okay,
right.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. That original request was back in November when we had our presentations on the 5-year capital plan.
Right.
Okay, and I did not do that in a vacuum. I did it with the consultation of the department heads that were affected, okay? So, that's where we are at this point. Before we go any further, I want Sheila to talk about the good news, which was the increase in our grant list, which was very good news we got on Friday.
okay.
Okay. First of all, do we have any questions on this before we move on? Okay.
I can pass this out. This is preliminary. It's a combination of the grand list compared to last year, and I adjust the grand list basically because we can't levy taxes on everything, because there are things that we know that we won't collect, such as potential corrections, certificates of corrections, and lawful adjustments, the elderly tax relief. So we'll get to that later, but basically, the grand list has gone up 0.799%. It's one of the biggest increases, and I forget what the assessor said, but in many years. It has, let's see if we could see it here. The assessment increase is 37,802. 37 million. Is that right? 37,802
Increase.
increase to,
No.
wait a minute, no. Wait a minute.
I think it was 24 million increase.
you got a number, 37 is there.
Yeah, no, it's, the assessment increase is, you know what? This is the number that I'm gonna use to calculate.
Yeah, that wasn't the increase.
Right,
The increase was $24 million.
The increase is $24 million.
Right.
But because of certain things, I can actually make adjustments, and we will probably be using an adjusted grand list that shows an increase of $37.8 million, generating about another $1.1 million in taxes.
So what do they say the increase is due to?
Basically, it was Guilford Commons, which in real estate brought in an increase of about $20 million, in real estate taxes, in real estate assessment, and then on personal property assessment, brought in about $1.2 million. All right, so that was the big hit there, okay.
So that really helps, helps us with our increase. When we can, pick up another $1.1 million in taxes from the increase in the grant list. That helps us out tremendously in when we calculate the mill rate. At this point, we're looking at because I don't know the state revenue at this point, and we're going to talk about that.
Well, we don't know state revenue, we don't know what the Board of Ed is going to do, because they're going to
Right.
decide this evening. But it's a lot better picture than we were
Yeah.
looking at a week ago.
So we don't know what the overall percentage increase is because the Board of Ed hasn't come in yet.
Right. We know that ours, combined with
You know,
debt
I know.
service, is about a little over 7%, between 7 and 8%. But when you factor in the debts, the Board of Education, that number's dramatically going to get reduced because they're coming. Well, they will. I think they meet tonight.
Tonight, yeah.
But their original budget was still under 3%. So
Yeah, they started at 2.85, they can be anywhere from 2.5 to 2.
right.
Okay.
And that should result in an overall budget of a little over 4% when you combine all three, debt service, town, and Board of Ed. So that's not a bad number at all.
No, not when you built a $92 million high school.
Right.
Okay. Okay. And you're in one of your spike years in your debt service.
Right.
Okay. Okay, is there anything else here you want to show us, Sheila?
No, I think that's. I think that's it. I mean, you can see this is getting into detail, but you can see that the $45 million that I'm adjusting is a lot less than the 59 from last year on the far right-hand column. So that's why we're able to pick up a little bit extra in assessed value that we can levy.
Okay.
Is that because you're estimating that the assessment appeals and the settlements are going to be less?
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, this is not an assessment year, so
Did you
that,
do an equivalent of this last year?
Yeah, yes, every year. I didn't put the detail here, but yes, I
Okay.
have. You can see it compared to last year.
okay.
We can recreate that, just
Sure.
email it out, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And-
this has worked for us. I've been doing this kind of calculation every year.
Okay. And like I said, on Thursday, our meeting, I think as far as we go with the town budget, I think we're there. I mean, we trimmed as much as we could, and I don't want to trim any further to sacrifice town services. It's a tough year because of the debt service, but we all knew that was coming. But, last year we were blessed because the pension contribution was decreased by $1.4 million, and that helped mitigate the increase in the debt service due to the first round of funding by the high school. This year, we're fortunate because we've got a nice increase in the grand list and another spike year. And to cut any further on the town side would start to eat into our town services, and I'm not going to do that. We all knew that this was going to happen because of the high school. We wanted a high school. 85% of the people who turned out to vote for the high school approved it. We've got a beautiful school, and we're almost at the last quarter of the school year, and it's operating well. The kids are enjoying it, and the parents and the student, the faculty love it. And like I said, we're not going to sacrifice town services, so I would propose that we pass this budget as adjusted to the Board of Selectmen, as the Finance Director's numbers show, that we pass it on to the Board of Finance.
Is that a motion? Because I'll second it if it is.
Okay, I'll make the motion, and I'm allowed to make one, so I'll make that motion then.
I'll second it.
Okay.
We spoke to this last week, waiting for these numbers today, and they're better than we anticipated, so I agree. I mean, we discussed it pretty strongly last week.
Is there any further discussion?
Well, I think we talked about it Thursday. The other thing that we've been talking about since I've been on the Board of Selectmen is putting the shorter-term capital projects into the budget, which we've managed to do, rather than having to bond out some asset that has a 5-year life or something like that. So I think it's just prudent to do that. There's over $1 million worth of capital projects in there that might not have been in here a decade ago into the processes that were there. And ultimately, you have to pay for those too. If they go to a bond, you have to pay for those over a longer period of time. So I think that has to be recognized, and unfortunately, some prudent choices all come together to bump the numbers this year. The high school, the bonding, some of those, but I agree with you, Joe, that we have an obligation to provide a variety of services to a variety of town residents, and this budget does that.
And to your point, this budget does provide also for an increase of $141,000 in that area over last year. So we're providing for $1,160,000 of capital expenditures out of operating,
Yep.
not out of bonding,
Yep.
which in the future won't be on a credit card. so
As
to
I've
speak.
said, I'd love to get to the point where we have those in place, and then we can start reserving for future
Yep.
capital, so that we never have to bond for some of these smaller
This is
assets.
the first step.
This is the first step. Absolutely.
And-
Get the cars and the trucks
Absolutely.
where they belong.
Yeah.
And one comment that I want to make is I want to congratulate the Finance Director for her work and creativeness in bringing down the debt service as much as she did in the refunding aspect of it, and the provision she's made in reserving for this year.
Right.
And so, good work, Sheila. Okay. Okay. Any further discussion?
I guess, Joe, the one other thing, we're doing this for the camera because we've all talked about this,
Yep.
but the school bonding, while it affects this budget, we've been very fortunate with interest rates
Absolutely.
and choices made so
Absolutely.
that the numbers represented in this budget are less than were represented when we went out to referendum.
Yeah.
So,
And we've shortened the term.
none of us did any of that. That was the market and the interest rates, but
We took advantage of it, though.
but it was approved at a higher payment level than we have managed to achieve through
Well-
market conditions.
Because the interest is one thing, and then taking advantage of the market, we lowered the term of the funding from 30 to 20 years. Combine that with the interest rate that we proposed to the taxpayers in 2011, which was 4%. And the funding that we've received was at 2.96, was the first issue, 2.78. The second issue, I'm right on those, I believe, projected out, according to what Sheila has done, is now long range. We'll be saving about $30 million in interest on that project. So, it's not an immediate effect, but over the term of the funding, it's a $30 million savings. So, but you feel it in increments, so. Am I
My-
right?
My debt schedules are all done, the
Okay.
projections, so I will send out a packet. I wanted
Okay,
you to look at them.
okay. Good. Right. If there's no further discussion, I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay. That's 4 affirmative, 1 opposed. All right, thank you. Thank you, Sheila.
Did you want
Anything else you
to
want to
do
say?
anything about the capital improvement plan, or do you want to save that for another day? I mean, I have it here.
The 5-year plan, you have to recalculate it, because in reducing that number from the original submission of 2 million down to the 1,160,000, we had to move projects into other years. We could do that now, or we could save it for another meeting,
Well,
because
I
that doesn't have to go to Board of Finance,
Okay.
that's internal.
I didn't move everything,
Okay.
but I moved everything to the 2018 year. So if you want to take that up and discuss and maybe move it differently, then we could do that another time. But this is,
Yeah, what's the board's pleasure?
Yeah, we might as well wait and then
discuss it.
Okay,
discussing
okay.
it done completely.
I can put it on the next agenda then. Okay, all right, thank you, Sheila. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you for your work.
You're welcome.
Well, it's not over yet.
I have to sit back down?
No, we still got to work with the Board of Finance.
Thank you.
And the presentation, so. No, you can sit down there. You can stay here if you like, I don't care.
Do I still have another item on the agenda?
Pardon me? No,
Okay.
no. Okay, and we've got about a page and a half of appointments and resignations. Are we all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, the town committees have been very busy, thank God, so we can fill some of the spots, and I'm so happy that we've getting more volunteers to step up to the plate here, which is great. Appointments, number 6, appointments and resignations. Act on a resignation from Matthew Joseph from the Economic Development Commission.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay. 6.2, act on a recommendation to appoint Carol Casano as an alternate member of the Board of Assessment Appeals for a term to expire February 1st, 2020.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Act on a recommendation to move Ann Street from an alternate to a regular member of the Historic District Commission for a term to expire January 31st, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Act on a recommendation to reappoint Patrick Smith to the Pension Committee for a term to expire November 30th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Act on a reappointment of Paul May to the Conservation Commission for a term to begin March 2016 and expire February 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Act on a recommendation to appoint Michael Phillips Mancini as an alternate to the Historic District Commission to fill a vacancy for a term to expire January 31st, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Act on a recommendation to appoint James Mastro Bianchi, do I say that right?
Corona, maybe?
Mastro Buono.
Buono, as an alternate to the Conservation Commission to fill a vacancy for a term to expire February 28th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Act on a recommendation to move current Shellfish Commissioner member John Hall to a vacant Democratic seat to fill a vacancy for a term to expire February 28th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Everybody understood that, right? To act on a recommendation to move Calvin Page from an alternate to a regular member on the Inland Wetlands Commission for a term to begin March 1st, 2016 and expire February 28th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Act on a recommendation to move Edward Meany from an alternate to a regular member on the Shellfish Commission for a term to begin March 1st, 2016, and expire February 28th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Aye. Act on a recommendation to reappoint George Underhill to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a new term to begin March 1st, 2016, and expire February 28th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Act on a recommendation to reappoint Judy Sullivan to the Parks and Recreation Commission for a new term to begin March 1st, 2016, and expire February 28th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Act on a recommendation to reappoint Robert Manetti to the Pension Committee for a term to expire November 30th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Act on a recommendation to reappoint Frank DeAndrea to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a new term to begin March 1st, 2016, and expire February 28th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Act on a recommendation to reappoint John
Jagelski.
thank you, to the Parks and Recreation Commission for a term to begin March 1st, 2016, and expire February 28th, 2020.
moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Act on a recommendation to appoint Robert Hartman Jr. to the Pension Committee for a term to expire November 30th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. The next generation.
Yeah, there you go, that's right. 617, this is the last one. Act on a recommendation to appoint Edward Lombard as an alternate to the Shellfish Commission for a term to begin March 1st, 2016, and expire February 28th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Also a next generation.
that's right.
His
Yeah.
father was on the Shellfish Commission.
Just one clarification, Tracy, on Mr. Underhill. I believe that's an alternate position.
I think that,
I think it is.
Okay, so it didn't say that in the motion, but we understand that's an alternate position. Okay, I just want to clarify that, okay.
also, just a clarification on the Historic District Commission, and they may be different. That's a 5-year term?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, item 7, request for the use of town property. We have 7-1 and 7-2.
I would move that we approve the uses and signs as delineated in the agenda under item 7, which includes 6 summer concerts for the, put on by the Park and Rec Department, which have always been a lot of fun for those that attend.
Yep.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Cindy? 8, correspondence. The only thing I have on the correspondence is from the Guilford Fund for Education. If the board wishes to field a team for the spelling bee, please let us know, okay?
When is
It's Friday, March 11th. If we have snow, it's March 12th. I wish they didn't say that, but, so please let me know, okay? So that would be Cindy, Carl, and Gary.
No, I'm a judge.
You're a
I
judge, okay.
costumes.
I'm usually
You don't
the-
want me on a spelling team anyway.
You don't want me either.
Here, you want another team or no? Here.
Oh, we'll talk about it.
All right.
I'm usually the backup.
You were
for-
good one year we did.
Backup for Rick with the gong, so.
I like the professor.
Okay,
We should like go find somebody like super smart and put him on with us.
you might have to go to the Board of Education to find somebody there. Old business, I haven't got anything from old business, anybody? No? Any new business? Public forum, anybody wishing to address the board? Okay, see none? Call for motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Just keep in mind that the next meeting before we adjourn is 3 o'clock on February 16th.
Wait it. Oh, all right. I'm gonna be away.
Okay,
I will.
so it's just the 3 of us. I guess.
Yeah.
So what's 3 o'clock?